Alrighty, welcome to the Liberty Baseball Association. I'm gonna just get right into it, I guess. So here are all the teams, as you can see down there, but we will get to those in a little bit. Let's just go over our draft pool real quick. So I rolled out a whole bunch of players yesterday, and they all got batters targets and on base targets, and they were given a point value. And now the point value is basically their contract, how much they are worth, and it's graded 1 through 5. And so if they had above a 30 batter's target, they were given a 5. And then each plus trait is automatically plus 1 point, which is why you see catcher Bobby James has a 30 batter's target, but a 5-point value. So that, now we get the point value out of the way, and I mean, this pitcher's pretty normal stuff. Well, pretty normal. Whole bunch of relievers here, and then I obviously organized them by pitch die. But that all pretty much makes sense already. So let's just get into the teams, shall we? So, Team 1, the Milwaukee Sturgeon. Their ballpark is Milwaukee Park. Their manager is Bob Angel. Their point value cap is 76, which is basically the team's spending money. So, Milwaukee has 76 based on their market size. So instead of using the middle of nowhere, small town, medium town, city, and metropolis, I did market sizes. So obviously, so I have a small market, a small medium market, a medium market, a big market, and a huge market. And so when I rolled for that, obviously Milwaukee small medium market, they so based on their market size, small medium market, we rolled a d6 to add on to 70, which is every team's base cap. So we rolled a 6 luckily and got a 76, which is slightly above average. And so obviously their location is Milwaukee. Their mascot is Sammy Sturgeon. Their team priority is defense. The division is the North. And so yeah, that's their club. And then the owner, Randy Franz, he was a local politician who was very noble and the people loved. Their ballpark, obviously, Milwaukee Park, and it is in decrepit downtown, which sucks because that subtracted one from their fan base. Their stadium is a space age, so modern stadium, with a capacity of 59,000. No roof, sparkling condition, which added to their fan base roll, but then they got hideous, which subtracted. And then their second quirk is center field oddity, which is -1 on a defense roll for the away team. Their fan base is fair weather, and so how I had the fan bases was, if you had a non-existent fan base, you would subtract a d6 to your point value cap. If you had I can't even think of what the second, indifferent I believe it is, you would subtract a d4 to your point value. And if it was fair weather, you'd do nothing. If you had loyal fans, you would add a d4 to your point value. And if you had obsessive fans, you'd have a d6. So, and then their manager, Bob Angel, He never played baseball. He's dignified and with a daring of 11. So let's move on right now to the New York Mad Hatters. So I forgot to mention that I did stick pretty closely to the dice rolls for all of these, but I adjusted them how I saw fit. So New York Mad Hatters, they were a huge market. So with huge markets, you automatically get added 20. So it's 90 and then whatever your fan base roll. And they had obsessive, so they added a d6. So their point value cap is 95, which is obviously extremely good, and is going to annoy fans of every other team, just like the New York Yankees and New York Mets do in the current MLB. So, the New York Mad Hatters, Marky Mad Hatter is their mascot. Their priority is starting pitching, and I'm going to use their priority to mainly how I'm going to pick the best players. So, like the starting rounds, I'm probably going to go with more starting pitchers for this team rather than guys who can hit and things like that. So, maybe the first 2 rounds they'll go out and get really good starting pitchers, based on what is on the board. And then New York is in the North Division. The owner's name, Hal St. John. He is a millionaire. He is a combative personality. So with a millionaire, obviously, he has lots of money to spend on the team. The ballpark, city grounds, right in the revived downtown. Classic jewel box stadium with a capacity of 37,000. I forgot to mark in here, no roof, and a well-worn condition with a left field oddity, meaning a left field defense subtracts 1 if it is the away team. The manager, Darren Parsons, played third base in the majors, retired 30 years ago, a charming personality, and a daring of 8. So that's your New York Mad Hatters going into the season. They're probably the favorite. Now this is probably my favorite team that I enjoy. Obviously, I'm not biased. I created the league and have put in quite a lot of time to writing some rules for this. If you would like a rule book for the league, let me know and I can get that to you. I'll make a post on the Deadball fans of Deadball in Facebook if you would like, of the rule book I wrote for the Liberty Baseball Association. But the next team is the Orlando Aliens. They are in Orlando, obviously, and their mascot is Arnie the Thing, is what we're calling him. And their priority is going to be hitting for average, so we'll probably go after some good starters right after for them. But sadly, they have a low point value cap as Orlando, even though they are a. Actually, hold on, let me find them on my chart here. Orlando is a medium market, but they only got a 2 on their D12 roll, which is not a good point value to start with. But their owner, Edward Ortiz, is a sadistic entertainer, as that's what I rolled, obviously. And then their ballpark, the NASA Dome. So in this little baseball universe, we're saying NASA became a private company, and they sponsored this dome that Orlando plays in. And they're in the suburbs, which obviously didn't affect their fan base too much, but it could have. Space Age Stadium, capacity of 51,000. Good quality turf, as they are a dome, and obviously a permanent roof. sparkling condition for them, so that obviously helped their fan base roll. With an expansive outfield, you subtract 1 to hit table rolls, and their second quirk is High Mound, which adds 1 to MSS. So, kind of an interesting stadium, I will say. But with an obsessive fan base, they got to roll the D6 for their point value cap, and they only got a 2. So, as if they rolled the highest they could have had an 88 point value cap, but sometimes the dice do not work that way, and they start with a 74. Their manager, Derek Knight, was a catcher in the minors. He retired 26 years ago. He is loyal, and he is going to be stealing a lot with a 16 daring. Next up, the San Francisco Earthquakes. San Francisco has the Earthquakes has obviously San Francisco. Their mascot is Rocky. Their priority, hitting for average, and they are in the North Division. The owner's name, Oliver Wilkerson. He is a captain of industry with a quixotic personality, which I probably should have looked up before this video, but I have no idea what that means. The Oceanfront Stadium for San Francisco, their location is on the riverfront and space age, so a new modern stadium with 56,000 capacity, no turf, no roof. It's a well-worn stadium with a cozy outfield and adding 1 to hit table rolls. With a loyal fan base, so that helped them a little bit. Even though they rolled the D20 for their point value cap, they did not get a very good roll. Along with the D4, they only got +8. So 78 is their point value cap, which is not terrible. But it is obviously not the New York Mad Hatters. Their manager, Ramon Bradley, he pitched in the minors, retired 30 years ago, is fun-loving, and he is going to be stealing all the time with a daring of 19. The St. Louis Explorers. So they play in St. Louis, clearly. Their mascots are Lewis and Clark, and their team priority is hitting for power. As they got a short left field porch, they can knock a few out. They're in the South Division. Their owner, Bryant Wolf, is part of... Whoops, what am I doing? Trying to extend that. Players Cooperative, and he has got a gossipy personality, so that could come back to bite him. I don't know if I'll maybe make a chart to roll like in the off season that the owner personality adjusts something. Probably won't. I'll probably just use Deadball's regular off-season rules, but let me know if you want to see that. Wolf Field, named after Bryant Wolf, in the revived downtown. It's a revived retro stadium with a capacity of 38,000, no roof, well-worn, and a short left field porch. An MSS of 47 or 57 is automatically a home run. So that kind of like Busch Stadium, honestly, for New York, or not New York, St. Louis. So the Explorers should be doing pretty good with a fair weather fan base. St. Louis, a medium market, but they rolled a 12 on the D12, so they got an 82 point value cap. That is looking good for them going into the season. The manager, Alfred Hoffman, was a shortstop in the minors, retired 31 years ago, with a fun-loving personality, and he is going to be stealing quite a bit with a daring of 15. Next up, the Phoenix Slither. Phoenix is kind of a hard team to come up with a name, since it's kind of similar to the Diamondbacks. But let's be honest, no one really thinks about the Diamondbacks because they are terrible. So, the Phoenix Slither. Their mascot is Ricky Rattler. Their priority is hitting for average, and they are in the South Division. The owner, James Morgan, was a media personality. Slovenly, another personality trait that I do not understand. The ballpark, Drayton Field, named after a former player, I think. I just used a random name generator, and Drayton was the last name. So, Drayton Field in the revived downtown. A retro field with 38,000 capacity. A sparkling condition. I believe I forgot to roll for the roof. So, I believe, we'll say they have a retractable roof, being that it's Phoenix and it can get hot. So, sparkling condition, expansive outfield, which means you're subtracting 1 from hit table rolls. With a loyal fan base, they got the D4, along with the automatic plus 20, because they are a huge market based on sizes of metropolitan areas in the U.S. is what I used. And so yeah, Phoenix was on the huge markets, and they rolled a 1 on the D4 because they are loyal. So they have a 91 point value cap, which is excellent. Their manager, Sung Rosado, a shortstop who played in the majors, retired 38 years ago. Tacky turn personality, don't know what that means again. And a 19 daring, so they're going to be stealing a lot. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of stolen bases in this league, just based on the high darings. The New Orleans Jesters. Their ballpark is the Hall, and their manager is Clarence Carter. So, obviously, New Orleans, their mascot is just the Jester, and their priority is starting pitching, and they are in the South Division. Craig Hall, was a newspaper writer and a quixotic personality, which again, don't know what that means. They're in the revived downtown with a space-age stadium with a capacity of 56,000. No turf, retractable roof, well-worn, cozy outfield, so 1 to hit table rolls, and a short right field porch. So there's going to be a lot of offense over in New Orleans, which makes sense that starting pitching is their priority. An obsessive fan base. So New Orleans, they were a small market team, and I believe they rolled, so that means they only roll a D4 for their market, but with an obsessive, they also rolled the D6, and that added up to 6, so they have a 76 point value cap. The manager, Clarence Carter. He never played, and he has a gloomy personality with a daring of 15, so again, lots of stolen bases. The Minnesota Loons. Larry Loonman is their mascot. Their priority is defense. They are in the North, and they are Milwaukee's biggest rival. Both are prioritizing defense, which seems kind of weird to me, but that is what we rolled. Their owner, John Watson, a captain of industry and an unbalanced personality. Minneapolis Park in the revived downtown area with a retro stadium, 44,000 capacity, and no roof and sparkling condition. And they got no quirks. I don't remember why that was, but they got no quirks. And with a loyal fan base and Minneapolis being a big market, they rolled a D20 and a D4, and they got a total of 13, which puts them at an 83 point value cap. The manager, Greg Jenkins, never played, and a rude personality with a daring of 1. So Minnesota probably not stealing a lot. Won't make a ton of sense to draft guys with speed plus for them. The Boston Whales. Their location is Boston. Their mascot is Big Blue. Their main priority, hitting for average, and in the North Division, obviously New York's big rival. The owner, Noel Norman, was a former player with a gregarious personality. Their ballpark is the Freezer Dome, and they're in the suburbs of Boston, a retro stadium with 38,000 capacity, good turf, and a permanent roof. Sparkling condition, cozy outfield, adding 1 to hit table rolls. And fair weather fans they are, but they are a big market. They rolled the D20 and they nailed it with a 20, so they have a 90 point value cap. Their manager, Grady Huff, was a first baseman. He retired 36 years ago. He is thin-skinned with a daring of 11. 3 more teams to go. The Houston Chupacabras. Houston, Mythic Charlie is their mascot, and their priority is starting pitcher. And they're in the South Division. Their owner, Toby Herrera, was a multinational corporation owner, I believe. Owned a multinational corporation. And he is very lovable. So, as you can see, the fan base obsessed, which giving them a 94 point value cap. Houston being a huge market, they rolled a 4 on the D6, so with 94. Desert Stadium in decrepit downtown, it's a jewel box with a 37,000 capacity, no roof, and it's well worn. And their one quirk is a fast infield, so you're adding 1 to stolen base and subtracting 1 to defense rolls. On the infield, that is, of course. And the manager, Horace Ray, Miners' third baseman, retired 31 years ago, charming with a daring of 16. So again, another team with a high daring, lots of stealing. The Cleveland Rocks, they might be the worst team in the league. So their ballpark is Kleins Field. Obviously, hold on, let's scroll back here. Obviously, their location is Cleveland with Rock and Roll Man as their mascot. Their priority is hitting for power within the North Division. Their owner, Angel Klein, was a railroad baron, and he's a temperamental personality. So their name, the ballpark name is Klein's Field in decrepit downtown, with a retro stadium with a capacity of 42,000, no roof, well worn, slow infield, so subtracting 1 to stolen base rolls and adding 1 to defense, and with a non-existent fan base. So what we did here, with a non-existent fan base, you're subtracting a D4, and Cleveland, they weren't a horrible market. They were a medium market, I believe. Cleveland was a small to medium market. So we rolled the D6, and we came up with a 2, but they rolled a 4 for their fan base. So subtracting 4 put them at 68. So they are gonna have very little money to spend on their team. The manager, Stuart Doyle, pitched in the minors, retired 32 years ago with a fiery personality and a daring of 8. And on to our final team here of the Liberty Baseball Association, the San Diego Surf. Leo Akers is their manager. Their location's San Diego. And I left mascot blank as I couldn't really think of one for the Surf, so they don't really have one. Their priority is hitting for average, and they are in the South Division. The owner, W.M. Hopkins, was a politician with a hedonistic personality. Jericho Stadium for the Jericho Tree National Park that is out. It's farther north, but it was like a landscape or something to name it after, and I thought Jericho Stadium would be cool. And it's in revived downtown, a space-age park with a capacity of 59,000. No roof, a sparkling condition, expansive outfield, so subtracting 1 from hit table rolls, and right field oddity, -1 from right field defense rolls by away team. And they're indifferent fan base. So that was subtracting, I think actually on Cleveland I said they subtracted a D4 for, what's going on? For their point value, but it was actually a D6 because they are non-existent. But indifferent San Diego subtracted 4 along with, but San Diego is actually a decent sized market as they were, where is San Diego? I cannot find them now, of course. San Diego was a, San Diego. I believe medium. My apologies. I can't find what market San Diego was in. That is strange. Oh, they were a big market, which shockingly they rolled very poorly on the D20, and they ended up with a 69-point value cap. So, and then their manager, Leo Akers, played right field in the majors, retired 21 years ago with an imaginative personality. Hopefully he's imagining that his team will someday be good, and he has a daring of 6. So, that is all the teams in the Liberty Baseball Association. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I'm probably going to post the draft. I'm probably going to post it 1 round at a time, because I know this video is running a bit long here. So I'll probably post it 1 round at a time to keep it kind of shortened, keep the videos shortened. But that's the whole team. I'm going to plan on playing every game for every team, but that might be a lot, and if I get backed up, I might just roll for their team score. Even though I would like to see full stats for the league. So we'll see what happens, and I'm thinking I'll probably create a Google Sites, and that's where I'll archive all of the games and things like that once I kind of figure out how to do that. And so, yeah, on that note, let me know what you think of the Liberty Baseball Association in the comments, and thanks for watching. Keep rolling.